All right, good morning. We're going to go ahead and start the Financial Fitness Tournament informational webinar. This is a program that the league has started and kind of taken under our wing. We are planning on getting a lot of students involved. We'd like to get the chapters and the young professional group involved in getting these students together to compete in a trivia type competition of financial education. So we'll go ahead through the presentation. First of all, the reason that we're doing these types of programs, last year at the conference we did an example of a reality fair, which we are still doing and facilitating for schools and youth groups. If credit unions would like to have one of those done, feel free to contact me. But these experiential learning programs actually make the education stick with the students. Studies have shown that when students are in a classroom setting, looking at materials or getting a lecture, a lot of times they don't retain the information. Most of the time, if it is a hands-on activity where they're going around and actually participating and interacting, they learn by doing better than just learn by hearing. So studies have shown that we retain 75% of what we do compared to only 5% of what we hear. So that's why we're really focusing on these experiential learning programs. Again, we're getting the chapters and young professional groups involved, both in Florida and in Alabama. And we're hoping to have at least one team represented from each of the chapters. And young professionals, we feel, will really take on the lead role on this, getting the credit unions and students to work together with their chapter support, of course. So the first step is drafting participants. The teams can be teams of up to 3 students each. Now, each chapter or young professional group can get as many teams as they'd like. If you already have relationships with schools or with youth agencies, or maybe some employees' children would like to be on a team, you can have as many teams as you'd like. They can be from different credit unions. In fact, we encourage that. It shouldn't be just one credit union putting the team together. Or each credit union in the chapter can form their own team if they would like to do it that way. So that will be the preseason round, is getting the teams together and getting the information to them, which I will explain in a moment. At least one student from each team must be a credit union member. So if they're not already, they're welcome to join, and then that makes the team eligible. What we're hoping to do by making that a requirement is we're hoping that the other students will see that credit union membership is a good thing for them. It will at least spread awareness of what a credit union is and what the benefits of membership would be. And then we're hoping these students will tell their friends about the credit union and everything they've done, or at least maybe one good benefit they've learned about during this. We want to target 10th and 11th grade students. We found that that's really the best ages to do this program. As a senior, they have so many things going on, especially this time of year and around graduation when the final competition will be. So they may not be available during those last few months because we are planning on having the final competition at the convention in June. So we were wanting to focus on 10th and 11th grade students. Of course, if a student really, really wants to be on the team and they're not in 10th or 11th grade, just contact us and we can work through that. As long as they are willing to commit to the timeline and will be available for competition, there shouldn't be any problem with that. Registration for the teams will be available online, and we're hoping to have it up by December 24th. It will be on the foundation homepage, and I'll send everyone a link to that. So as soon as you get a team together, you will be able to go on and register your team. The students don't have to go on themselves. You can register for them. You will just need their names, and what school they go to. If they're homeschooled, that's fine too. And they can come up with a team name. That would be helpful as well. The registration will end on January 31st, so we want to have all teams in place by January 31st, and that is to allow enough time for studying and preliminary competitions, as you'll see in a moment. The league will assist in competitions to determine one team to represent each chapter or young professional group. So if your chapter has multiple teams, then we will assist to have a little competition amongst those teams in your chapter to determine which team will go forward to represent you in the main competition. If you only have one team for your chapter, then we can skip this part. We would not need to have those preliminary competitions, but we will be there to assist with those. Providing the equipment for the students, the resources for their study, and they can do this all online. Christmas break is coming up, so I know that's a good time to study. NEFI, we have developed 900 financial questions, and a lot of them from the NEFI materials, which are all free. You can order them to have a hard copy if you'd like, or to give the students hard copies. I have the website on there. And also, we've pulled questions from Practical Money Skills, which is Visa, Financial Football, and Financial Soccer, which we will show you in just a second. The Financial Football and Financial Soccer are both online, and as you can see, the graphics are incredible. This is in a game format, so the students go on. They answer financial questions based on, they can pick the difficulty level, easy, medium, or hard, and if they get them correct, they get so many yards, or they may get a touchdown, or a field goal, or a goal in soccer. If they get it incorrect, they may get sacked or lose some yardage. So it's a lot of fun. They can play as an individual or with other people. So this is a great way for them to study because a lot of the questions will be pulled off of here. So they have these resources available to them. And again, those are free. NEFI has 6 modules, 6 different workbooks. And you'll see in the top right-hand corner there, module number 1, money management. The other modules are borrowing, earning power, investing, financial services, and insurance. They can get those modules or they can view them online and go through that material as well. Now, it's not a requirement that they go through all of this study material. However, obviously, the more they study, the more of a chance they'll be able to advance in the competition. What some students have done in past competitions, they've divided up the study material. So one of them may, since there are 3 on a team, maybe one focuses on financial soccer, one on financial football, and one on NEFI. Because during the competition, they will get a chance to talk amongst each other. So that's one possibility. The credit union or young professional or chapter that is actually sponsoring this team, and by sponsoring, I just mean representing, there's no cost involved at all. They may also choose to coach the team. That's completely up to you. If you'd like to get together with them on a weekly basis or maybe have a phone call, weekly phone call to see how they're doing each week, you can set that up with them just to kind of guide them along the way because you do want your chapter represented well. There are some bragging rights involved with a chapter that wins. The timeline for the competition, the draft, of course, is now through January 31st. Preseason, which would be those preliminary competitions, and if your chapter only has one team, again, you kind of skip, would be February 1st through March 30th. Now, as soon as they register, they can have access to the study materials and start studying. So the sooner you get your teams registered, the better. They will have more time to study. Playoffs, which would be one team representing each chapter, they will play against each other in a double elimination tournament. This will be a virtual tournament, so it will be online. They will not have to have transportation. They will not have to be present for the tournament. So that we'll schedule those between April 1st and May 31st, because obviously we're going to have to coordinate with the chapters and the teams to match them up and see which times and dates fit best. So those competitions will be through May 31st until we come up with the top 2 teams. Those top 2 teams will actually get to come to SECUF June 17th, that's a Friday of 2016, and compete live in front of hopefully our young professionals, our chapters, some board members will be there, and some attendees of the conference. It will be an actual session showing how this all went on, and then we'll have the final competition. So what's in it for the students? Of course they get bragging rights. They also get a participation certificate for each participant. So even if there are multiple teams at a chapter level, each of those participants will get a certificate, which they can include on their resume. They can have us write a referral for them. Might look good on a college application. We also are giving shirts and bags for each participant in the YPG chapter top teams. So each team that represents each chapter will get a nice dry fit shirt and a bag for participating filled with goodies. The top 2 championship teams will get mileage and hotel accommodation to stay at the beautiful JW Marriott with us during the conference, and their parents are invited as well. Second place teams will get a $50 gift card for each of the 3 participants. First place teams will get a $100 gift card for each participant. And of course, they're building that credit union relationship. They might decide to join the credit union, and the benefits are endless there. And of course, the priceless benefit for students is financial education, and they're getting it the fun way. The more they practice, the more this information is going to stick with them. Everyone will be surprised how much they're actually learning while they're studying for this competition. What's in it for the chapter and young professionals? Of course, we have bragging rights too. We are going to have, for the first time, a trophy, which the winning chapter or young professional group will receive and can display all year until the next tournament in 2017. Exposure and awareness. This is going to be exposing your credit union to a lot of students. Depending on the marketing that you do and the students that you reach out to, if you have this on your website and social media, this could potentially get you a lot of new, younger members. Students love competitions, and parents love to see them in competitions like this. And of course, you're getting a lot of free financial education resources. Entering the contest and all of the resources for studying, they're all at no cost to the credit union. So the only cost of this competition is just investing a little bit of time. And why are we doing this? Of course, the goal for credit unions for a long time has been to lower the average age of our membership. Millennials now, they're the biggest group, bigger than the baby boomers. So right now, we've got 36% in the workforce. By 2020, that's going to go up to 47%. So that will be probably our main membership base. We want to start building the relationship with those students now to get them into the credit unions. So the next step, before we go into that, I'd like to tell you a little bit about how the competition works. It, as I said, will be a bracket competition, double elimination. So when a team goes up to compete, we'll have 2 teams facing each other, and a question will pop up randomly out of the 900 questions. When the question pops up, it will be read out loud. The team will then have 20 seconds to discuss it and give an answer. These all are multiple choice questions. They will also have paper available if they need to make any type of notes or figure out any type of math. So they will have 20 seconds. They come up with an answer within the 20 seconds. If they get it correct, they will get a point. Actually, they get 3 points if they get it correct. If it's incorrect, the other team then has a chance to answer. If the other team gets it correct, they get 1 point for stealing that question. So it'll go back and forth. The teams will be read 7 to 10 questions. We haven't finalized how many questions they will receive within the competition. And the winner at the end will go on to the next round, or if the other team has already lost twice, that team will be the champion. So that's kind of how the competition will work. If there's a tie at the end of the questions, it will go into overtime. So we will have extra questions on top of that. If there's a tie in overtime, we will have college level questions that were not in the study materials that will be asked. And none of the teams will have had access to those answers. So we'll go on from there if it goes into double overtime. So as I said, the next step is the drafting the teams, and we will be getting online registration open soon. If you get a team together before that, say you have a credit union employee who has a child and they have a couple friends and they would like to get a team together, then you can go ahead and email me their names before we get the registration open. And that way they can go ahead and get started studying. But we're hoping to have at least one team from each chapter. Again, if you have any questions at all, please feel free to reach out to me. Start drafting your students now. Again, we're looking for 10th and 11th graders. However, that is not set in stone. If you have students who can commit to the timeline and will be available in June for that final competition if they win, then that's fine. Just let us know and we can work out the details. But if you have any questions, please let me know. This is my contact information, julie.lewis@lscu.coop, and my phone number as well. So I look forward to hearing from you soon. I will go ahead and send out more information as it comes along. But again, please email me if your chapter or young professional group is interested in participating. And when you get a team together, please let me know. Thank you and have a great day.